Cleopatra VII. Her name evokes opulence, drama, and betrayal. But behind the legends lies a woman of razor-sharp intellect, ruthless ambition, and unmatched political savvy. You'll see how a polyglot scholar seized power in a male-dominated world. Witness the audacious carpet stunt that launched a romance with Julius Caesar. Follow her glittering alliance with Mark Antony to its fiery end at Actium, and uncover the truth behind her final, fatal choice. Buckle up. This is not the Hollywood Cleopatra you think you know. Founded by Alexander the Great, Alexandria was the world's intellectual capital, and Cleopatra was its brightest pupil. By her 20s, she spoke at least 7 languages: Egyptian, Greek, Latin, Aramaic, Syriac, Idumean, and Hebrew. No translator needed. She read Plato and studied medicine, even dissecting animals to understand anatomy. Her education wasn't ivory tower indulgence. It was her sharpest weapon. She brokered alliances in Syria and parleyed with Eastern kings on equal footing, earning respect and fear. But the court of Ptolemy was as treacherous as any battlefield. Next, we dive into the family feud that nearly cost her everything. Cleopatra inherited the throne at 18, with her 10-year-old brother Ptolemy XIII as co-ruler. But patriarchal priests and power-hungry courtiers quickly turned on her. Within months, a palace coup forced her to flee to Syria. Imagine losing your crown overnight and plotting revenge from exile. She seized on Rome's turmoil. When Julius Caesar chased Pompey to Egypt, Cleopatra saw her chance. But sneaking into the palace would test her cunning like never before. Legend says she arrived rolled inside a carpet. Her first meeting with Caesar. Was it a gift or a declaration of war? When the weave dropped, Caesar didn't see a threat. He saw ambition. As a result, he fell in love with her almost immediately. Their affair shocked Rome. But Cleopatra gained more than a lover. She secured military backing to reclaim her throne. With Roman legions at her back, she crushed Ptolemy's forces. In 47 BCE, she gave birth to a son, Ptolemy XV, nicknamed Caesarion, Caesar's only acknowledged heir. Back in Rome, senators bristled. A foreign queen wielding Roman power? Unthinkable. Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE ripped that world apart and left Cleopatra adrift. After Caesar's death, Egypt lay between 3 Roman powers: Octavian in the west, Lepidus in Africa, and Mark Antony holding sway in the east. Egypt lay just beyond Antony's frontiers, rich in grain and gold. Cleopatra knew that her kingdom's safety depended on currying favor with the most powerful Roman ruler closest at hand. In 41 BCE, Antony's envoys demanded ships and tribute. Cleopatra answered not with fear but with flair. She dispatched a fleet of dazzling warships, gifts of perfumed oils and ivory, and even joined the convoy herself. By treating Antony's officers like honored guests, lavishing bribes and staging grand Nile reviews, she secured his favor without ever kneeling to Rome. Antony arrived in Tarsus expecting submission. Instead, Cleopatra met him atop a gilded barge draped in purple, emerging like Aphrodite from the water. Incense smoke, rose petals, and exotic music turned a diplomatic summons into a spectacle. Disarmed by pageantry and charisma, Antony quickly became her ally, and much more. Their liaison sealed a political pact: Syria for Antony, Egypt for Cleopatra. Together, they'd challenge Octavian and shape the future of Rome. Alexandria buzzed with opulence. Feasts so decadent, Rome accused them of moral decay. Octavian's propaganda machine painted Cleopatra as a vamp draining Roman virtue. 31 BCE, the decisive showdown at Actium. Antony's fleet faltered, ships scattered, and the tide turned in Octavian's favor. They fled to Alexandria. Antony, despondent, fell on his sword. Cleopatra, ever the strategist, attempted negotiations, only to learn of his death and choose her own fate. Poison? Asp? Ancient sources conflict. But on August 12, 30 BCE, the curtain closed on Egypt's last pharaoh, on her own terms. Rome absorbed Egypt's wealth, financing the Pax Romana. Yet Cleopatra's reforms endured. Coinage, temples, and her vision of a Hellenistic Egyptian fusion. From Plutarch to Hollywood, Cleopatra's been cast as seductress, goddess, villain, and feminist icon, each era rewriting her story to suit its own obsessions. Peel back the layers of myth, and you find a multilingual strategist, a charismatic diplomat, and a ruler who dared to stand equal to Rome's greatest men. Cleopatra's life was a masterclass in power, performance, and persuasion. Which moment stunned you most? Drop your thoughts below. If you crave more deep dive history epics, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thanks.